Recognized for 5 minutes, please.
First, I want to thank you, Chairman Tonka and Chairman Rush, for allowing me to wave on to this joint subcommittee hearing today. I want to thank the witnesses for appearing. As we've heard from many of my colleagues today, America is in the midst of an energy crisis of our own making. Just a year ago, our nation was energy independent. And for the first time since 1952, America was a net energy exporter. Now the Biden administration's policies have allowed American energy and the production of it to falter. And unfortunately, prices are skyrocketing. The president has even resorted to asking OPEC to increase production. On Monday morning at my home in Pennsylvania, there was already snow on the ground. And this week, the lows are in the 20s. Winter is coming, and my constituents need to heat their homes. To do that, they are paying 274% more for natural gas and over 500% more for propane from just a year ago. Americans are now literally paying the price for the Biden administration's failed energy policies. What Americans truly need is affordable and reliable baseload power. If my colleagues across the aisle are committed to clean energy, then we need to invest in clean diesel fuel, nuclear, and hydroelectric power. We need to invest in innovative technologies that take advantage of the energy reserves that are beneath our feet so that we can keep our coal and our much-needed natural gas power lines online. We need to find incentives to industry to improve the grid and develop greater efficiencies instead of punishing them with taxes and penalties. We need to end the war on liquid fuels and recognize the progress that has been made and continues to be made on emission standards. Meanwhile, many of these new proclaimed green energy fixes to our economy are in fact harmful to the environment, through their use of toxins and hazardous chemicals. For example, the batteries in electric vehicles are notoriously dangerous and incredibly difficult to dispose of. Dr. Switzer, my first question is for you. Isn't it true that currently, even when fully discharged, electric vehicle batteries can still have enough electricity remaining in the battery to kill the workers that are handling them?
Thank you for the question. I would say that if it's fully discharged, and I think theoretically it has no electricity remaining. But I think we've also proven that you can scale and handle these batteries safely to recover the valuable elements contained inside.
But the potential of a battery to say that it has been fully discharged and thus have remaining electricity in it could potentially harm the workers who are dealing with those batteries, correct?
I think that there will be, of course, the need for for training on how to handle these batteries safely.
I think that safety definitely needs to be addressed, given the danger in handling, transporting, and recycling electric vehicle batteries. How will recyclers be paid enough to cover the cost incurred as these batteries become more prolific in the scrapyards?
I think we're working with more and more partners, but with scale, I think we'll tilt things one way, but I also think that it's not necessarily, we don't see it as that we have to be paid to recycle these batteries. We see it actually quite the opposite, such that we'll be returning value to the supply chain because of the value within the battery.
Isn't there a potential of leaching hazardous chemicals from these batteries into our environment?
I think, there's potential if done completely the wrong way, but I think what has been shown by us and by others is that it can actually be done very safely and at very high yields.
Lastly, there seem to be sufficient markets for electric vehicle batteries. How and when will these markets continue to develop?
I think what we'll see is, as I mentioned before, is that these end-of-life electric vehicle batteries won't be viewed as liabilities, but rather as assets. And even as Redwood Materials, will essentially be competing with others because they'll see value in these, and will essentially be competing to return value to the supply chain to get access to these batteries to recycle them.
Currently, I see the value in the resources that are under the feet of my constituents. I see the importance of being able to maintain those energy sources to provide efficient and cost-effective ways for Americans to heat in this upcoming winter. First of all, thank you for your summary answers, and I secondly want to thank Chairman Rush and Chairman Tonka for allowing me to waive on to this important hearing. Thank you, and I yield back.